Welcome back, guys, to another day, another vlog. So we're starting off our day heading over to Johnston Canyon. We're actually checking out the lower and upper falls today. We're doing the 3-kilometer hike, I believe, all the way up to visit the falls. I'm so excited. It's so beautiful here. The day started off perfectly. The sun was out. I was just loving everything about it. It was so warm. It wasn't as cold as it had been, and it was just nice to get some really strong sunshine coming through this morning. As we walked along, it was absolutely beautiful. The water was so clear and so blue as well. It had a gorgeous blue tinge because it was snow water coming from the mountains flowing down through the canyon. We walked up along the falls watching the river go past, all the water flowing from the canyons above. We even saw some squirrels as we walked along, which was really, really cute. They were making a little nest for themselves of the grass. It was so funny. The water, I couldn't believe how blue it was, guys. Like, I'm going to say it again. It was so blue and so beautiful. The walk up was really easy, really smooth. It was a very comfortable hike up towards the canyon. And the falls at the top were just beautiful. You could go all the way up to see the falls from above and below, which was really cool. And as we walked back, I found this little friendly squirrel that would come up to me if I held my hand out. It thought I had some food, but it was very skittish but friendly at the same time. It was really, really cute. I haven't actually gotten that close to a squirrel on our trip yet, so that was really, really cool. We were a little bit chilly as we headed back down just because it was pretty cold towards the falls with the cold air and water spray coming out of it. So we decided to go get a hot chockey, and I also got a croissant for breakfast. It was so delicious. Honestly, this hot chocolate was probably my favourite on the trip so far. It was so good. Later in the day, we went and walked through Banff and down towards Bow Falls. We hadn't checked out Bow Falls yet, and it was a must-see while we were in Banff. So we walked along. It wasn't too far of a walk, and the falls were incredible. The amount of water flowing through this river was insane. There was so much power behind the water. It was incredible. That was one thing I really took away from it, was the amount of water flowing. It was just insane. It was crazy. So after we checked out Bow Falls, we actually walked through the city. Tristan needed some new shoes because his were a bit old and worn, and he found it quite hard hiking on our previous hikes because all the grip had worn away underneath the shoes. So he went and bought some new shoes, and I went and bought a beaver tail to try because we looked up what kind of foods to eat in Canada while we were here, like the traditional must kind of try Canadian foods, and the beaver tails were one of them. It's kind of like a fried dough, and you can choose your toppings on it. I went with the hazel almond one, which was Nutella on top of the beaver tail with a bit of icing sugar, and it was actually pretty good. A little bit sweet for my taste, but still pretty good. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. We spent the afternoon in the common room just by the window playing cards and having some tea. We cooked dinner tonight, and it was egg noodles and stir-fried veggies because we really needed some fresh veggies as we were pretty over our typical dinners of tinned soup and microwaved rice at this point. Tonight we also did the sunset hiking tour. It was so beautiful. I think it was called the Sunset and Star hiking tour actually, and the skies cleared up for us in the evening, which was so lucky because it was cloudy just as we were heading there. The night tour was amazing. The skies cleared up completely, so there wasn't a single cloud in the sky by the last hour of the tour. Our tour guide was fantastic as well. He was a British fellow and had a great sense of humour. He was hilarious. Honestly, he had me crying of laughter. Honestly, the day was such a great one, and the tour couldn't have been better. I definitely recommend for you guys to check it out if you are in Banff in the near future. And that's all we did for today. So we actually had a funny start to our day today. We planned to spend the day hiking the Tent Ridge hiking trail, which we ended up being a little bit ambitious about. We didn't account when planning to do the hike that there would be snow. So when we actually got to the hiking trail, we were a little taken aback by the fact that there was just so much snow everywhere. We wanted to give it a try anyway, but quickly found out we were very under-equipped for this hiking trail in particular. Firstly, the trail wasn't very clear. We were just following footprints made by others who tried to forge their way through, and Tristan was wearing shorts. As we climbed, however, it became very clear we couldn't do this hike in the snow. It was just so deep in sections, our legs kept sinking. So we decided to cut our losses and hiked back to the car and we decided to visit grassy lakes in Canmore instead. I was a little bit disappointed, but I perked up when I had my tuna. Honestly guys, this tuna from, I think it's Aldi or IGA. No, it's from IGA. It is so good. So good. We headed back and stopped at a little flowing river to take some photos of the beautiful scenery, and Tristan wanted to drink the fresh snow water flowing down the stream. As we drove back, we saw that the Spray Lakes Reservoir, which is a lake that you can see from the top of Tent Ridge, caught my eye, and it looked frozen over completely, so we had to stop and check it out. It looked so stunning with the ice covering over the beautiful blue water. It's not often us Aussies get to see a lake that is this size and completely covered over. It was crazy. Tristan was testing out the ice sheets to see how thick they were by throwing rocks to see if it would crack the ice. It didn't, which was really cool. Tristan and Ness wanted to try taking an ice bath, so that's what we did. Tristan was game enough to go first. Ness went second and also did really well at focusing on her Wim Hof breathing. I was honestly so proud of them both, and I wasn't going to go at first, but I changed my mind. It looked so rewarding and it was going to really challenge me, so I took the plunge. It actually wasn't as bad as I had thought in my mind. I managed to stay in for about a minute, which I was so proud of myself. We all did amazing, and I love that it looked out over the most beautiful lake. It was such a beautiful place to do this ice plunge. So we did originally plan to go see Grassy Lakes, but we honestly were just so cold. I didn't want to do the hike in the rain, so we decided to put it off till tomorrow and go check out this highly rated cafe in Canmore. It was JK Cafe Bakery. We were definitely craving something warm and cozy as we went inside, so I got the hot chocolate and ordered the chicken pot pie, and Tristan ordered a truly Canadian latte, which is pretty much a hazelnut maple latte, and he also got a panini. The food and hot drinks really lived up to their standards. Like, I can see why it was recommended on Google. This place was amazing, and it really warmed us up from the inside out. Next, we went to the Wildlife Distillery. We were actually given a few coupons from our tour guide last night, who took us on the Sunset and Stars night tour. And so we decided to put them to good use and try out the distillery, which is located here in Canmore. I have to say, I'm not a fan of spirit tasting. I much prefer a wine tasting to a distillery tasting, but it was a cool experience all in all. Ness and Tristan ended up having all of their small shots. I had about 2. Clearly I'm a lightweight. In the evening, we had the wildlife safari tour. It went for a couple of hours and it took us all around Banff. It was so much cozier being inside the bus than walking around town. I was so glad it was a bus tour. We visited the golf course in Banff, a viewpoint looking out over the town. The view was stunning, and we saw a couple of mountain sheep, which was really cool. I hadn't seen mountain sheep yet on the trip. And then we actually went to Lake Minnewanka to see if we could spot a bear or some other wildlife. If you guys are driving yourselves around British Columbia like we were, I probably wouldn't really recommend the tour just because you see enough wildlife just doing your own road trip. But if you're just catching transport or you don't have access to a car, I do recommend this tour. It was really nice to be able to go visit all these different locations to see some different kind of wildlife. Plus, the tour guide was so lovely and gifted us these amazing maple biscuits afterwards. Honestly, I'm going to have to find these and buy these. These are amazing. And that wraps up today's vlog, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow in my next daily vlog. Bye!